Hi, this is part two, story of my repairing my Mercedes 1980 300 TD, which is in the background. I've got my cardboard shade up. It's about 80 degrees today. Beautiful weather for mid-July. It's so cool. Makes you wonder what's coming next. I've moved right along and done a lot of good sheet metal work since the last videos. This is my my work table down here. I'll show you my technique. I use the clamps to clamp the sheet metal to this old hard drive frame, which I got surplus, and then use my trusty jigsaw to cut it to shape, lay it out with magic marker and a scribe. Got my aviation snips, and there's a purchase about a month old from Harbor Freight, a metal brake which has proved invaluable. Yeah, so I lay it out here and bend it. I have a vise over there for some interesting bends, and kind of learned that I can get it close and then bang it into shape. So let me show you some of the work. I'll give you a close-up of the inside. I know you'll be thrilled. Okay, perhaps you remember from the last video that this part right here I had just finished putting in. What's new is, and I finished, is the rear part. If you can remember from the last video, I hadn't put that in, so that's kind of an important part in the 123. It ties these bolts right here, tie in underneath to the rear suspension. You can see there's still a hole right there. I'll fill that with a piece of metal and then cover the small holes with putty. Structurally, it'll be held together with steel, and use putty and polymers to seal it. Is my technique. So that's the rear of the car. Now, coming forward, if you remember, I showed you this piece which I took out. It goes right here, and is the underneath the beam that holds the front part of the seat. Well, underneath that, if you remember the last video, was all rusted out. Well, this is a piece I've made, and it's a bend here, and it comes down, it bends in to meet the floor. So this level here is about 4 inches higher than this level. It's metric. I don't know how many centimeters. So I got this in, it's welded in. I have to get in here and do this little hole here. That's going to be a little tricky. One of the hard parts on working on these is if you just weld without scraping the tar off the bottom of the car, you start a fire. So it's one of the considerations. It'd be a lot easier if that wasn't there. Of course, the car would have completely rusted out if it wasn't there. So you know. Anyway, here's the detail of the edge. You can see I'm bending that up to meet the side. It kind of curves up like that. And there's my spot welds. Spot welds here and here. And that's my technique. These are, I don't know if you can see them, these are screws that I use to temporarily hold it in place. I'll take those out and fill with weld. So this piece right here is going to fill that hole. It'll fit in like come from underneath, and it'll be welded in place. And then I'll have to bang this weld. I'll use the clamp to hold it, make a weld next to where I've clamped it, then move on down and whomp it with a hammer and weld and whomp and weld and whomp and weld. So it's coming right along. I hope today to start working on this piece, which I'm going to do some intricate little bends on. It's coming together, and then I move forward. That'll be fun. I know exactly how to do that. That'll be easy. This car had a thing which I haven't experienced before, and that's That's the underneath the accelerator pedal is rusted through. That's going to be an interesting sheet metal work there. A lot of that black tar I'm talking about is here up against the transmission. I can't get to it, so I might have to resort to pop rivets. So that's the inside of the car. Once I finish that, and I figure maybe 4 or 5 more days work, and I have to deal with this ugliness, which is pretty typical in these cars. I know how to fix that. And this one, being a 1980, didn't have the plastic covers on the inside of the wheel, so the inside of the wheel well has a hole in it, which relates to this, and then it threw back water into there. I know how to do that. It's good to cut open a place on the inside to examine it, but that's not gone. It's just rusty. Anyway, that's what I'm into, and moving right along. Actually, the project's coming together.